back by the little one.
Yeah, that was some really interesting stuff. We saw Kiwikaki being so aggressive with that 4 stalkers and then blocking the ramp off there with 2 pylons of Dario's ramp. And that was just great stuff there, killing the hatchery. Sean, what were your thoughts on that?
I mean, I do think that that build by Kiwikaki is the sort of build that would be absolutely amazing on a map like Steppes of War. I mean, with those close positions, you can easily control against the Zerglings, do a huge amount of damage, but it was Kiwikaki's oversight of that back destructible rock.
And looks like Kiwikaki has decided on Steppes of War for the next match, so we're going to go ahead and be hosting that. Now, Steppes of War is EVP. What does that initially tell you?
I mean, really, if Kiwikaki did the identical build, it would be very hard for the little one to be able to deal with that, because on Blistering Sands, clearly Kiwikaki came out to an early sprint, but then started to falter behind because of how many probes he was cutting, and his hope was that he would kill the expansion and it would slowly equalize the game again. But as we saw, the little one was so active about killing those destructible rocks. A great foresight there by TLO.
Making sure the players are playing under the correct colors. Looks like they are good to go, so we're going to go and get started here. Give a cheer for the little one if you want him to win this match against Kiwikaki.
And give a cheer for Kiwikaki if you'd like him to pull it back for a 2-1 victory.
Root Gaming, Team Liquid, here we go. TLO versus Kiwikaki, getting started on Steppes of War. Now, we talk a lot about how Team Liquid has sent a lot of members here. Evil Geniuses has sent a lot of members here. Root Gaming has a lot of people here as well.
Absolutely. I think at least 7 or 8 players in this tournament. Kiwikaki, perhaps the most notable of them all. But in the meantime, the little one is spawning as the blue Zerg in the top right. And in the bottom left, we have Kiwikaki as the red Protoss.
Now, if you actually take a look at Kiwikaki, what would you do in his situation? I mean, he just took a loss against the little one on that first map. Are you going to do anything fishy, or are you just going to play normal?
Well, depends on what you mean by normal. Kiwikaki's kind of a nutcase in terms of his strategies. He always has something kooky he pulls out of his French-Canadian hat before the tournaments. And it really, last game is a prime example of that. The double Stalker rush worked absolutely beautifully in that last game. And I think there's no reason he couldn't just pull it off again.
You know, at the same time, the little one is pretty unorthodox himself. We see a lot of unique builds from him on Terran, or when he was playing random, we saw a ton of unique builds. And as Zerg, we see a lot of unique stuff as well. But looks like he's going to be throwing down a pull here on 10, and that's a little bit interesting.
I know. I do think that players are loving that sort of early pool on this map because of the pressure it affords against the opponent. And I think that it could be a little bit of a read going on by the little one. The fact that he saw Kiwikaki in the most previous game skip Zealots altogether, but Kiwikaki, as we see, is sending out a very fast probe scout.
Looks like he threw down a 12 gateway there. Drone does in fact see it, and just kind of sitting at the ramp. Gas has been thrown down there as well from Kiwikaki, going back into the main of the little one. The spawning pool is about to finish. He does have 3 larvae saved up, and there comes 6 lings right off the bat.
Whoa, I think Kiwikaki's going to be surprised to see that there are those lings making it. That pool is already done. Meanwhile, back in the base, it looks like this drone is continuing to nibble away, doing damage to the gateway, but really Kiwikaki's going to have a little bit of Chrono Boost saved up. And look at that, not even putting any guys into gas. He knows that he could lose this right now, and look at that brilliant counterplay by Kiwikaki. Oh, is there a Zergling rush? Well, I'll just wall those Zerglings in.
Yeah, doing the old double pylon at your ramp. Nothing that the little one can do except for attack those. And Kiwikaki actually canceling that one, and then the other right there. And now there are 8 lings coming from the little one going straight towards Kiwikaki's base. He does have 1 Zealot coming out with a Cybernetics core that will complete a wall off at his ramp.
Oh, and there the Zealot barely gets into place in time. What an amazingly clever delay that Kiwikaki did just there. But note that there are 8 lings outside the front. Kiwikaki's going to try to do the best he can to control against this, but the little one is just going to begin nibbling at that gateway. Oh, little one losing a drone. Second gateway going down for Kiwikaki, but he is losing quite a lot of health on that gateway.
Yeah, those 3 lings were able to attack that gateway without the Zealot being able to hit them. Now a second Zealot has been spawned from that gateway. Cybernetics core finishing, instantly getting the warp gate research. He does have 36 energy on his Nexus, but it looks like he's not going to be chrono boosting anything just yet. Going back into the main of the little one, a Roach Warren has been thrown down, but it was seen by Kiwikaki's probe right before it died to that queen.
Now, I'm very curious to see if the little one will continue with this plan, or whether, yes, he'll pull a little one and just cancel the Roach Warren and just proceed as normal. He could very easily just take an expansion here and pull back. We even see in the production tab only drones being produced by TLO. Meanwhile, back in camp Kiwikaki, there is one Stalker almost finished, likely going to be queuing up more. We've seen him love early Stalker pressure in this matchup.
Looks like Dario is doing exactly what you just described, throwing down a hatchery at his natural, not going roaches, not going to keep the pressure on. He's just going to expand safely, thinking that Kiwikaki's might just play a little bit too active, and actually Kiwikaki's going to go ahead and attack right now, but there are a couple of lings. Will they get this around on that Stalker? Oh, it was so close.
It's very, very dangerous situation right now for Kiwikaki, but look at that very nice control by both players. Little one trying to avoid those zealots, but still a huge hit, and oh my goodness, a huge misclick by the little one, actually sending all his drones, and it looks like 10 Zerglings are en route for TLO because, I mean, Kiwikaki is controlling this beautifully. God, that is annoying.
The double pylon even annoying us casters, and it looks like if you go to Dario's hotkeys, it looks like his third key is on lings as well. I wonder if he had all of his drones actually hotkeyed right there. Might have been that misclick. Two more pylons being thrown down there at the ramp. Dario is once again stuck in his base, and that was really a great response from Kiwikaki. He was planning to deny that hatchery with this, and that's exactly what he did.
I mean, really, you can sense how in control these games Kiwikaki has been. In every single circumstance, he seems to be predicting what the Zerg is going to do, doing obnoxious techniques like these double pylons. Even in the last game that Kiwikaki lost, it was a simple blunder of not looking at the back door.
And looks like Roach Warren has now been thrown down by TLO, and it has finished, and roaches will most likely be produced here in just a couple seconds. Lairs also started, and there comes one roach out of TLO. He does have a couple of lings just sitting in his ramp, and there's not much he can do as those stalkers will be able to hit the lings from beyond or from behind those pylons.
Now, he needs to be super careful. If he doesn't make some attacking units soon, the little one runs the risk of just being completely overrun by this 4 warp gate that is just finished getting up and operational for Kiwikaki. And look at that insane stalker count.
Yeah, I thought that this probe might be just taking expansion, but it looks like he hasn't rallied to all of the Xel'Naga watchtowers to make sure that the little one has not snuck an expansion anywhere on the map, and Kiwikaki actually thinking of expanding himself there with this nice little contain that he currently has on the Zerg user, the little one, but he's continuing to make roaches as well as getting burrow and that speed upgrade.
Now, that is a very smart play with that Roach burrow. He can do a lot of damage and then just burrow the weakened roaches, and without any detection, there's going to be almost nothing Kiwikaki can do about it. It will be a very slow push, but an extremely potent one at that, trying to bait some of these stalkers up. As long as Little One begins killing that pylon, eventually he can even use his burrow micro right here at the front door, which needs to be a little bit more aggressive, be willing to take a few hits there. Needs to also be careful not to lose them, but as we can see, that pylon is rapidly losing health.
There's 5 sentries currently outside of the little one's base. They're behind those pylons. If Kiwikaki is lucky, he might be able to sneak in a force field behind them. But oh, that pylon is about to fall. It has 13 HP. Here comes one last roach, and it does fall down, but those stalkers looks like they will hold their ground. Dario not sure if he wants to move out yet or wait for burrow.
Looks like he's almost done with burrow. He's also getting the tunneling claws upgrade, so it's going to be very, very close. There's the forge, and it looks like he is not committing to moving out yet. And there he is, burrowing all of them. Oh, I think Kiwikaki is not happy about that.
Yeah, a nice force field there. Kiwikaki almost blocked off all of the roaches, but all Dario has to do is burrow there. And here comes some more roaches. No more force fields being thrown down there. Little one has some great burrow control. Looks like he's trying to finish off that pylon, but a couple of zealots and all of those range units making sure that those roaches cannot do any more damage to the pylon. Going back and checking out Kiwikaki's new expansion robotics facility has been thrown down with a forge as well, and probes are transferring over. 3 photon cannons being warped in there at the expansion. Dario trying so hard to break out, but he can't actually do that much damage as these force fields are completely blocking the rest of his army from coming down that ramp.
There's a very cool little ninja roach in the background who keeps popping up, throwing down one shot and then burrowing again. Ooh, very, very close there. Wide Little One again, but he is in range, so he can continue to do damage to that pylon. But it looks like, oh, Dario misclicks and does end up losing a drone. Meanwhile, Kiwikaki is chrono boosting that one observer. A lot of gateways out still, those 4. And as usual, there's still micro going on at the front of the ramp. And will he ever run out of energy?
Observer has now been chrono boosted out of that robotic facility, and it is rallied there right outside the natural, and now it's going straight towards the ramp of the little one, so if he hopes to break out anytime soon, it looks like it's not going to happen, though, as those force fields are just continuing to go. Oh, there's the burrow under the force fields. Kiwikaki has no idea. The observer is right there, though, and there's the observer.
And there's the unburrow, but still force fielding the ramp, and there's some very nice shots there, picking off the sentries individually, and here's Dario's huge counterplay. He's getting a second queen. Kiwikaki is in a full-out retreat. Does he have Zergling speed? No, he does not. So all these Zerglings are going to take quite some time to get to the front of the base, and look at this cannon wall that is there to greet him. Kiwikaki with the amazing defense.
Immortal being chrono boosted out of that robotic facility, and 6 photon cannons right outside of his natural the Overlord is granting sight to the little one to go ahead and kill that pylon. Lings are right there as well. Looks like he's sacrificing some Overlords. Didn't realize how many cannons there were. And now the little one has to decide what he wants to do. He's still on one base, just now throwing down that hatchery. Knows how far his opponent is ahead of him. He's actually going for it.
He's going to try to kill off as many of these cannons as he can, but look at those very nice force fields. Some nice burrow retreat micro by the little one is going to unburrow to get behind those force fields and escape somewhat unharmed. Again, darting up to pick off one sentry and then retreating again. And there's a little bit of a misclick burrow. And with that Immortal, Kiwikaki is going to be on the offensive again.
Yeah, that Mortal is really going to do so much damage to those roaches, and there goes Dario falling back, throwing down those roaches into the ground, making sure that they get their HP back. Looks like more roaches will be joining up against their comrades in the middle of the map, but Kiwikaki is sitting pretty at his natural, continuing to chrono boost Immortals out, sitting on 4 gates right now, adding in 2 more up to 6, and he probably will be getting the upgrade soon from that forge.
I mean, that's a great example of just good containing by Kiwikaki to get that expansion up, and now Kiwikaki is more than content to play defensively. Nice little burrow move by little one, as look at how fast those roaches heal. That life just exploding upward to maxed. Very, very easy, fun little technique. Infestation pit going down for the little one. Very curious to see if he's going to be getting just regular old infestors or going to be trying to do something with neural parasite.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I do love that the Lone is trying everything he possibly can. They're going on the edge to make sure he can hit those photon cannons without taking too much casualties from the rest of Kiwikaki's army. And here comes the roaches now back at the front, almost losing one of them. There goes one of them falling down. Observer Hut on their trail, and now Kiwikaki will be falling back. Expansion up for Dario, and still seeing the pathogen glands from that infestation pit, so it looks like he will be using infestors.
Yeah, fungal growth definitely underused against Protoss. Kiwikaki is a gigantic fan of Blink, but of course the most recent change to the fungal growth is that it does prevent Blink. Here comes little one again trying to pick off one unit at a time, but oh no, the burrow retreat is not going to work this time. Losing one. Oh no, huge numbers of additional roaches. All the ones at the back taking absurd damage.
Now this is one of those things that you were actually talking about on a daily the other day. Sitting on 2 bases against Zerg, getting a big enough force, and then just pushing out like this. Dario really does not have a big enough army to defend against that. Infestors are out, but they have not, they're just begun collecting energy. They're not going to be able to fungal growth anything. This might be it for the German player, the little one.
Oh my god, Kiwikaki coming in with a gigantic force. Good game, doesn't even battle it. Sees the 4 Immortals in that mix, and just decides that he is going to have better luck choosing this map to go into for Game 3. Very creative play from Dario, but just overwhelmingly more solid play from Kiwikaki. And just for the record, we see little one on the left, and there's his teammate Liquid Jinro and Liquid Nazgul just lined up along the left. Team Liquid is performing very well in this tournament.
Yeah, those are all win-around matches, I do believe. So, looks like Dario has done what any good Zerg would do and chosen Scrap Station for the 3rd and final map in this next series. Scrap Station, really what makes it such a great map for Zerg, Sean?
It's that every single expansion is far away from the opponent, huge ground distances, and none of the expansions are really that harassable. Your main doesn't have any cliffs where things can blink up and down. Your natural doesn't have a ledge that you can put tanks onto. There's almost no way to do damage to Zerg at the outset, so definitely very, very tough.
All right, looks like both players are ready, and I'm ready. Sean, hope you're ready. Hope the crowd is ready. Let's make some noise if you're cheering for Kiwikaki from Root Gaming.
And of course, if you're a little one fan, give a cheer for Dario.